Okay, let's make a start. Thank you for joining us for this webinar entitled Advanced Portfolio Dependency Management with Project Online and MasterLink. So we're going to take no more than 45 minutes to talk about a subject that is clearly popular, judging by the many people that have signed up to this webinar today. The subject of dealing with dependencies across projects, particularly in complex portfolio and programs. Brief introductions to start with. So my name is Gero Renker, and I'm co-founder of Program Framework. My company is a Gold Microsoft partner. All we do is implement project and portfolio management solutions using Microsoft Cloud tools such as Project Online, SharePoint, Teams, Planner, and so much else that is in the platform is what we work with on a day-to-day basis, but very much also focusing on the strategic discussions around these sort of tools. User adoption is a key aim of ours. So my own background in this is very much consulting, helping people get the most out of these solutions. Today, I'm very happy to be joined by our friends from Matan Consulting. And it's hello to Leah Landsman, who's a partner at Matan, who's joining me for the presentation today.
Hello, everybody.
So Matan, a partner in Israel, operating both Israel and the US, and have quite a few great products that enhance the solution to a great extent. One thing I will say before we go into the actual presentation is, if you have any questions, you'll be able to ask those in the interface in front of you, and if we have time, we will answer them as we go through the webinar. Want to start off, though, very quickly introduce Project Online. I'm only too aware that there might be people out there who are not users of Project Online at this point, although I know very many of you are. But just to position the product that we're talking about, Project Online is a service within Office 365 that really facilitates the full project lifecycle from project idea all the way through to closure and lessons learned, if you like. Highly functional, highly flexible, and making best use of a web environment within Office 365 in combination with Microsoft Project on the desktop as the client tool for the professional project manager to plan and track their projects. So a lot of capabilities within this service, and anyone who's already on Office 365 certainly benefits from the fact that it is something that can just be switched on and configured. Users are already within the platform. But we won't have time to demo Project Online today in any great depth. So I just wanted to call out that there are a number of recorded webinars on our website. One of them in particular I would recommend for anyone who wants to get a better idea of what Project Online is all about, called Project Online in a Nutshell. The slide deck is available as a PDF document for download today, and it has a link in there so you can go right to the registration for this canned webinar and watch that. So that's a little bit of introduction to Project Online, but today we're talking about dependency management across projects. And I think anyone who works with project portfolios and programs of a reasonable complexity obviously has a challenge to map relationships between projects, events that happen in one project that serve as a trigger or a condition for something else to start in another project altogether. The typical scenarios we see for this, what you can see on the left, the idea of a matrix organization where we have projects happening where particular work packages need to be farmed out to teams in the organization that want to be in charge of those, that want to own those, plan those, and simply report back the sort of key milestones, key events, key conditions, and dependencies back into the project that is ultimately owned by a project manager. So we're starting to externalize work into sub-projects or work packages and want to track those back into a project plan. Similar scenario in the world of programs where we have a collection of projects all delivering a set of joint outcomes. So you might have a program plan that monitors the big program level milestones, and then myriads of projects owned by different project managers and work streams, sub projects, whatever you want to call them, all of them needing to report back into the program, as well as managing dependencies within these projects themselves. This is a challenge, and Project Online does have capabilities built in to deal with these challenges. There's something called deliverables that allows you to externalize products, if you like, that individual projects are going to be producing into lists that other projects can see and can place dependencies on. There are also, of course, capabilities to create direct, say, finish to start connections between tasks across projects. In each case, there are certain drawbacks to the built-in capabilities, and we don't really want to get into those. What we do find that overall these capabilities are rarely used, and certainly when we have the direct task to task dependencies built in using the standard capabilities, we are facing the issue that an event happening in another project that I place the dependency on, if that event moves, then that will potentially move the dependent tasks in my own project out. So there's these hard links that people find a challenge. Hence, we are here today to look at a product that really has taken some of these challenges as a cue to redesign and advance the capabilities, completely integrated with Project Online, but it is an add-on tool, and this is where I hand over to Liat and to kind of introduce us to MasterLink.
Okay, thank you, Gera. Thank you for the opportunity to be here today, and thank you everybody for joining us. As Gera presented the challenges, this is what we faced hearing from our customers and seeing with different organizations, and what we set out to try and improve. And the idea behind MasterLink, which is an add-on, as was mentioned, was to create a situation, create an environment within the project that allows each and every manager, whether a team, a project, or a program, and so forth, to follow these three steps. At any point, they can identify very easily what are the changes that different events in different projects have created for them in their own work plan. They can understand the impact of such change and then decide whether to accept it or not. So the challenge of automated update is something that we wanted to address. And then at the end, communicate easily to the different stakeholders in different projects and different levels of the organization based on real-time information, what is the result of the steps taken. And the result of this idea and the challenges as presented is the MasterLink. And MasterLink is an add-on to the project user, Project Online user. It enhances the environment of the project. It is something that seamlessly integrates within the project, and it adds to the, again, either program, project, or any other manager, different features like reports, indicators, functionalities, and the way that the Gantt is presented, and we'll go into the details in the demo. And by providing all this within the project environment, it gives the user strong visualization capabilities to help them with an effective process of decision making and managing day by day the work plan. So without further ado, I'll just leave the presentation and open our demo environment. This is the project online. As you can see, we have the MasterLink installed here, so it adds a tab to the project environment. This is my project professional. And what we have here is a program. For the sake of demo, I'll be a program manager, and I need to develop a new product to one of our customers. I have went ahead and created the plan of my program. As you can see, it details all the tasks, summary, tasks, milestone, and so forth that needs to happen for me to deliver the product that that needs to be delivered. So to create a good plan, a big picture, what I want to do is I want to make sure that my plan is supported by all the underlying plans. And for the sake of the demo, these plans already exist. The different departments that support my program, whether they're engineering, purchasing, legal, and so forth, created their own work plans. And I want to make sure that the information they are showing their work plan is reflected here, so I will know throughout the project lifecycle where we are, that we are aligned, and that everything is shown correctly. So I'll go ahead and create those links. So I'm choosing the task that I know has a dependency in another project. I will open the add link form, where I will go through 4 steps. The first one is to choose what is the link type, what is the logic of the connection that I want to create. You can see here different types. Those 4, I'm sure you're all familiar with. Those are the 4 standard links that exist within the project, and we offer additional ones. Those 3 are links to a deadline. Sometimes the deadline is more important than the task itself, and I want to make sure that I'm aligned to the deadline, so I can choose that. And this one here is called the work package, and I will go back to that in a few minutes. So I'm just choosing the link that in this case represents what I want to create, and it's a finish to start. The second step would be to choose the instance. So here in the demo environment, I only have 1 instance, but if the case happened that there are other instances, PWA environments in the organization that I want to link to project in those instances, or if I have a vendor that works on Project Online and I want to link directly to their plan, then I can choose to define those instances here and choose whatever instance that I need to.
So Leah, this really takes us well outside of any sort of comparable capabilities in the standard Project Online, doesn't it? That which really cannot map dependencies across environments, and that is a fairly significant opportunity for many of our customers I know who are running multiple environments or working with external parties to actually build links across these environments and bring these planning communities together. I think that's a great feature.
Thank you. Yeah, agreed. Okay, so we chose the instance, and the next step would be to choose the project that I want to link to. So I will just go and find the project that, here we go. By double clicking it, I'm just opening the list of all the tasks, milestone, everything that is included within the project, and I can now just go ahead and choose the task. Here we go. Let's say this is the one that I need, and this is the predecessor for my work plan, so I'm just apply. And what I've done now, as you can see here, I've created a new link. This does not yet mean that I've changed my work plan if the case requires. It only means that I've established a link and I've brought new information. And from here, I could go on to create new links. Let's say I know that this task here also links to the same project, and I can just choose, this case, it's a summary task, and I can create a link here too. And so I can let's say this task here also has a predecessor in the same project that I've already opened on the right side. So I can just find the right task that I need to link to. Here it is, and create the link, and so on and so forth. I can go through all my tasks, create and establish the links that I need to, and I can go through different projects and create the links. And what I have now is the work plan, my work plan, where the links were created. Now, at this point, you can see that these are new links. This tells me it's a new link. And if I will open the links window on the bottom part of the screen, what I see now is the information about my predecessor. So I can see which project I'm linked to, which task, the start and finish date, and so on. The next step, since the idea here is that the change or the impact is not automatic, is to approve it. So I have the, let's say this one here, this link, which I've just created, and I need to go ahead and accept it. In this case, we are aligned, there is no gap, my plan is not impacted, and once I've accepted, I've got that V indicator telling me we are aligned. So right now, my work plan and the other work plan, which is my predecessor, we show the same information, and I can go and accept each one individually, or just mark everyone and accept them at one bulk acceptance. And I will, of course, not go on to create that. Let's just take another file which I've earlier created that simulates the same program, only, let's say, a few months ahead. The project has advanced, and of course, as project advance, we have changes, things happen, dates change, and how does that look like? So we have, again, the same project, only this time I've created all the links earlier, and what you can see here is the MasterLink status column, which shows me the status of the link that I've created. The green V indicates that nothing changed, we are aligned, but these little light bulbs tells me something happened. A change happened and we're no longer aligned. Something with the predecessor that I've linked to changed. And if I just click one, you can see on the link window on the bottom part of the screen what it looks like. So it tells me, it highlights what is the change that happened. In this case, the start and finish dates have changed, and they're now not what my work plan is showing. And if I go here to choose that task here, again, the change is highlighted. So the finish date changed, and it's no longer what I've shown before. So if I will go and choose this one, for example, in order to implement that change, what I need to do again is accept. And if you see here, what we see on the, I'll just increase it so it's easy to see. We see my task here in blue. This is my project, and I can see my predecessor in green. So actually, by just looking, I can see where the gap is. My logic here is finish to start, and obviously this is not what's happening because this is where my task is and this is the predecessor. So if I go ahead and accept, you see that it aligns my work plan. It changed my plan, and and this gives me an opportunity to look at my work plan and see whether the change that happened is something that is acceptable, something that I can maintain and continue with my new work plan as it is, or in this case, it moves my customer approval milestone, and this is something that I don't feel comfortable approving. So I will go ahead and roll back, and rolling back will maintain the situation where we have a gap. So I know there's a change, I know what the change is, but the impact of implementing that change is something that right now I wouldn't want to go ahead and do, and I decide to just leave it as a gap. And this is what the MasterLink gives us. It gives us the strong visibility of where my gaps are. I can easily understand what implementing the change will, how the implementing the change will impact my work plan. And I can decide whether to leave the work plan with the gap or go ahead and accept it. So one thing that I can do, let's say at this point that I want to maintain the gap, I don't want to go ahead and change it, I can open a discussion with the other work plan owner, telling them that, can you please explain or elaborate why the change happened? And they responded telling me that their testing tasks started late and they don't have the capability to right now commit to any earlier date. And I can go ahead and respond to them, telling them, I don't know, maybe a suggestion, let's meet, let's find a mitigation, or I can decide at this point that I can just go ahead and maybe the gap that the change that this change presents to me is not something too critical. One thing that MasterLink allows us is not only to link to one task, it allows us to link to more than one predecessor or successor, so it not just support one-to-one links, but one-to-many and many-to-one, and it can go all directions, so it can go from the program to sub-projects and vice versa, and also to other projects at the same project level. And if I would just look for an example here, you can see here, for example, that I have more than one predecessor. So this task in my work plan, for example, has two predecessors, one in the engineering project and one in the training project, and both are presented here, so I can clearly understand, where my predecessors are. In such case, what we will see on the Gantt here in green is just one task. And this task that we're seeing is the one that is indicated here with this green pushpin, which is the impacting task. So I know that this one is the critical predecessor right now, and if anything changes here, then my work plan will change. And of course, this is recalculated as the project moves on. Another indicator that you see here is the give and get column. So the language that MasterLink uses for predecessor successor is give and get. And by just looking here, I can easily see where my dependencies are. So it's very visual. I can immediately understand where I have predecessors, which are the purple dots, where I need to get information from other projects, or where someone else has created a link to my work plan because they need me to give them information. And of course, we also have the situation where we have both. So here I have a predecessor and successor, and I can see where they are and which projects I'm depending on or I need to deliver information to.
And that's an important point, sorry to interrupt, isn't it? That when you place a dependency on another project, the owner of that project obviously instantly has that visibility to see that people are dependent on the work in their project. Is that visibility across all parties, which I think is a great feature.
Right, and you can also see that on the Gantt chart. These are the red indications. So the green ones are my predecessors and the red ones are my successors. Okay, so basically this is how we create links and this is how the MasterLink works. But what we've discussed so far is how to link one task to another task in a project. And MasterLinks allows us also a more advanced concept, which is the work package. So to explain that, I'll just go back to the presentation for a second. So the work package is another link type that MasterLink offers, but it's a more advanced feature which allows us not just to represent one task, but to represent maybe an entire scope of work, or sometimes also looked at as reflecting a task, not just by looking at the start point or finish point, but by looking at both. So it's kind of a reflection, a copy, if you like, of another task that is managed by another work plan. So let's just say, as an example, that I'm the program manager and I have a scope that I want to follow up on, and I know that this scope is managed by another owner, let's say training, and the training team is the one to detail the deliverables and milestones and manage it through the entire project. What I can do is link to their task in their project via a work package link. And in my plan, I will only see one line, but this line will represent the entire work, the entire scope that is planned in their work plan. And I will then, from there on, continue to receive all the aggregated information on that scope, and I can choose again to accept and align. And in the work, in the project itself, in my work plan, in the higher level, it will just be this one line, but in the underlying plan, it will be the entire work plan as detailed as needs to be. And if we'll just fast look at an example in our project, so this line here is a work package link, and I can see that by looking here at the type of link. So I have a scope of work, in this case, the integrated tests, and the project that's responsible to deliver them is actually another group. And if I will, at this point, choose this task, and I will click on open, what will then happen is that it takes me to another project. So at this point, my MasterLink opened the engineering file for me. I do not have rights to this project, so I cannot change it, but I can look at it. And this is also an opportunity to see what the giving side looks like. So you can see here that they have the red line showing them that someone has linked to them. And you can see the red line here and my plan, in this case, the engineering plan here, and you can see the gap very vividly. And what you see here is that, well, it's just a demo, so there are 5 lines in this work plan, but it can be as detailed as the user needs it to be. It can be the entire file if that's the case. And on this side, you can see that it's a give link. So I will close that and go back to my plan. And again, here, it is just this one line. And what we see here, that something happened, a change. We've seen it also in the engineering file itself. And if I will go ahead and accept it, what happens now is that my task didn't move, my task duration changed, because this is a work package link, and I'm aligning to what the entire scope in the other project is now planned to. And again, I can say that that presents a problem for me, because of course my entire plan is now pushed, and I can just leave it as an alert and open a discussion on trying to find a mitigation to resolve this gap. And this is the advanced concept of the work package. Of course, when you have a long plan, you don't have to go through the entire plan to find all your gaps. So we have a very useful window here, which is called the summary window. And here I can just see the details of all the gaps that I have, all the change, the light bulbs, and all the other links that are aligned. And by just choosing one and double clicking it, it will take me directly to the specific task. So navigation is very easy using that. With that, basically we covered the functionalities and the advanced features that MasterLink offer us in order to efficiently manage all our dependencies. And just to finalize, what I'd like to show you are the reports that MasterLink offers. So the reports are available from here, the give and get report and the critical path. I'll start with the give and get report. The reports are generated in the web, so they are generated within the project center. They're available from both the project professional or directly from the project center. This is a give and get report, and basically what it does, it summarizes all the links, all the dependencies within the project. So this is my project. These are all the tasks that have links, and if I just click on one of them, I see on the left-hand side which predecessors I have to this task that I've chosen. And again, you can see here that the changes are highlighted, so I know that I have a pending change here. And I can just go and choose whatever task. In this case, I have more than one predecessor, and both are presented, which project and which task. From here, I can also see all the history of changes since the link was first established. So if I just choose a task, I have this icon here, and by clicking it, it gives me this graph, which will show us all the changes that happened since I first established the link. So this is the point where the link was first established, and since then, I had several points where the due date of this task changed. And it shows me here on the y-axis all the dates as they change. So this task kept being pushed away throughout the project. So this is the give and get report, and another report that we offer is the critical path. So the critical path that MasterLink offers is crossing projects where links were established, and let me open that here. So I've chosen a task, and what the MasterLink does is show me the critical path to the chosen task, calculating all the tasks, even if they are in different projects. So if I click here, it will expand to give me all the tasks from the other project. And here we have another project involved, so I can just choose to expand. And by that, I have the entire critical path to the chosen task, crossing, in this case, 3 projects. Nice feature that we have here is, you can see it here in this line. This is not a mistake showing two milestones on the same task. What we see here is again the yellow light bulb telling me that a pending change exists here, and it shows me both cases, what we have right now and what we will have if we choose to accept the change. So this is also kind of a look ahead of where I might have changes on the critical path of the task that I've chosen. That's it. That's MasterLink. This is how it's used and the information that it shows us. And in terms of implementing it, the feedback we get from users, it's pretty easy to use and pretty fast to learn. If I'll go back to our presentation to maybe summarize on what we talked about and the challenges that we've presented to a user working in this complex and multi-project environment. By using the MasterLink with all its features, I think user gains three major points. One is saving time and effort on managing those dependencies, both by using the visualization that MasterLink offers. So it's no need to dig in deep. It's pretty quick to identify where the gaps are and understand their impact. Also the reports that are available, and users don't need to go ahead and calculate every time. Accountability is an important point. If you remember the scenarios Gera presented at the beginning of this of the presentation, then we give the organization the opportunity to work as they need to work, either the team manager, the project, or the program. Each one can own their piece of the project and decide what their work plan will look like. And by following those steps and all the features that we've shown, we're giving the users easy process of decision making based on real time integrated data that shows the overall picture, the big picture of the program, and the status of the project at each point.
So I think what we can say is, many organizations are really keen on this concept of distributed planning, giving teams ownership of their work. And I think a lot of the features that we've seen here, I think, give that a much greater chance just because of that visibility. As a project manager, it's easier for me it is very easy to create these links. It's easy for them to be tracked. I can see when changes have happened. I can see what dependencies others have placed on my project, and I like particularly that summary window that shows all of these different link types and events in one place. Very easy to work with. And then the PMO and those in governance really having that visibility across all of these pieces. I know that these links also provide data sources for custom reporting and so on. So then the historical perspective and trend reporting, really pulling it all together. What sort of feedback do you get from customers? What's done to their sort of working cultures, and what sort of effect have you seen?
Okay, so MasterLink is implemented with different types of organization, either ones that manage large programs, or we even have customers that have a small number of users, but still in general, I think the feedback that we get keeps reoccurring, and I can share some examples for one client that we have, which is Qualcomm. They used MasterLink in their research and R&D division to manage the complex design projects. And their favorite link is the work package link. They really like the fact that they can use that to copy information from one project and follow up on it. So it's easy to know where the program is. And I think an important, in terms of what you asked, Gero, thing that happened there is that MasterLink gave them the confidence of linking between projects. So the feedback we got is that they're no longer thinking twice before linking projects. It doesn't matter if it's a massive linking, they just go ahead and do it without second thought. Another, I think, interesting point is with one of our pharma industry clients. One of the concerns they had, they really have a crucial need there to understand the relations between the different work plans. They need this clear visibility into their dependencies and what the dependencies impact is. And something that their project managers got really intense about was they didn't want to link projects because they didn't want other people in the organization, other project managers dictating, what their plan will look like with the automatic update that might happen. And this is why sometimes happen that a project manager will not want to link their plans, even though, again, they perfectly understood the importance of it. And by using MasterLink, as I've shown with the idea of acceptance, the focus was no longer whether to link or not. The focus was now the conversation, because they got the clear alert of where discrepancies exist, and it was their responsibility to decide whether to change their work plan or find out why the change happened and what can be done about it. So this created a very cooperative environment where they felt really comfortable using those links and creating the integrated plan. I think one thing that you mentioned about using MasterLink for creating reports, I can quickly show an example using Power BI. This is an example of a dashboard where we did exactly as you've described. We used the MasterLink information to create a dashboard that shows, for example, in this program we have the different projects, and we show the matrix of the different links between them. And we just created a report that shows, for example, the critical links that have changed to them more than twice and still have a pending, for example, change. So as a program manager, I can get a good picture of where maybe issues are and dive in to understand why these exist. And of course, Power BI is very flexible and one can choose to show here whatever information that is important to them.
So that opens up the whole powerful features of custom reporting with Power BI that will combine any of the customer's data set associated with projects and bring that together with all the link information to create whatever reports that are relevant to them and important in their environment, which is a great story as well. Good stuff.
Exactly.
I think we need to close. I think that's described it pretty much. If you would just want to go back to the final slide of our presentation, just to give.
We have one question if you want me to read it shortly. The question is, how is the functionality impacted if a project manager has chosen to only allow read access to other plans? And the answer is it doesn't. Well, everything that we've seen is available with read-only access. So
that's right. So as I'm creating a link on another plan, I have no way of changing that other plan, and complete control and ownership is maintained.
Yeah, you can link to it with read-only rights, and you cannot touch it. So
with that I want to say thank you, Liat, for making the time to present this great product. Now, for any of you attending this, if you have further questions, then just get in touch. Here are contact details, or Liat's email address is, of course, mentioned earlier as well. So if you want to download this presentation as a handout, you can do this. There are great facilities of exploring these tools, even through trials with Project Online, trials of MasterLink. I am aware that you might be very curious as to the cost of MasterLink and those kind of conversations. For all of that, do get in touch. We'll be more than happy to answer any further questions that you have and so on. For now, I want to say thank you. And
thank you, Gary.
Thank you, Liat. Thank you, everyone attending. And this webinar will be featured as a recorded webinar on the events page of our website within a couple of days. Thank you so much, and see you again soon on another webinar.